The advantage of going last on a panel is that everybody's said most of the things that need to be said, so I can hopefully keep my comments short for all of you. And as Danny said, it's hard to follow all these incredible activists. And in fact, looking in the room, seeing so many familiar faces of powerful activists, I'm honored to be up here. As Kshama said, my name is Shirley Henderson, and I'm a member of Socialist Alternative. I am also a small business owner. God. How about that? God, I was close. I am a member of Socialist Alternative. I manage a apartment building on Capitol Hill, and I am also a new small business owner. And as an activist and a big part of the community, creating a strong and maintaining and fighting for a strong community is a huge priority, obviously, for me. So many people have gone over the statistics of incarceration and the effects of tough-on-crime methods, so I don't need to go into that, but we are all aware of the state of emergency that we're in the city as far as homelessness is concerned. Due to the increasing unaffordability and the rise in rents across the city, and this cost of living increase only exacerbates the drug use and mental illness going untreated. In managing the apartment building, I have seen with my own eyes the effects just in the last few years of this increase. There's been a lot of people that have been loitering at the building, sleeping in my garages. As a personal anecdote, I met a woman who was sleeping in our recycling bin, and when I discovered her, she begged me not to call the police because she was a frequent flyer in the system, and she was trying to get over a drug addiction and just didn't have the support, and just said, please, I just want a place to rest. And I refuse to call the police when I have people at the building because I understand the vicious cycle of incarceration. And so to have a program like L.E.A.D that we can refer people to is really critical, and I certainly experienced that in managing the building and as a small business owner. Obviously, the failure of tough on crime is most acutely felt by people who end up in the prison and whose lives are destroyed as a result. Communities of color and poor people in particular. It also fails to address and even completely ignores the root causes of the problem: the systemic racism and lack of jobs, income inequality, skyrocketing rents that drive people to engage in low-level crimes, like I had mentioned. But the failure is also felt by ordinary people and small businesses who are impacted by the crime that this failure leads to. We know that big business, corporate politicians, and the establishment want small business owners and ordinary working people to blame the poor and people of color for these crimes. That is asinine, and it's scapegoating. They are the ones, the corporate politicians, the big businesses, who are responsible because they are the ones who promote an economic system where people can't find living wage jobs, where profits are more important than human beings, where big developers and corporate landlords get to gentrify entire sections of the city just to make money. It is so important that small businesses, that small business owners, and that ordinary people know whose side to be on. We're not on the same side as big business. We need to join with movements to promote an alternative to tough on crime. And we need to make sure that it's fully funded, as Shirley and so many others have talked about. And that there's real accountability to the communities who so far have been devastated by policies that have incarcerated millions for no good reason. And while we're at it, let's make sure that we have money to do all of this by linking up with movements to make the super wealthy and the corporations pay. Yeah! Ending corporate tax giveaways and creating a millionaire's tax would be a great way to start. I just wanted to shout out to Councilmember Kshama Sawant and her staff for putting this together and for always being on the side of holding big business accountable and finding ways to fund these kind of programs, and not only that, expand them. It's a no-brainer. We've talked about all the ways that it works. Others have outlined the importance of the program. Let's build this movement and make sure that it works as an alternative to the failed tough on crime approach. Thank you.